Amsterdam is one of the world's great cities for walking. There are so many neighborhoods in this city that are wonderful to explore on foot, or perhaps on a bicycle as so many locals get around, including entire families. We're going to show you one of Amsterdam's best neighborhoods for walking and shopping, called the Nine Streets. Among all of the favorite spots in Europe for walking through a town, this has to rank among the best. It's right next to the Dam, Amsterdam's main square. It looks like it's 3 streets, but each one has 3 parts, so that's a total of the 9 streets. When viewed on Google Earth, you can see how close these 9 streets are to that main Dam square. And what a wonderful neighborhood it is, all within that red circle. I'm going to take you on an organized walking tour through all of those main streets from south to north. You will be delighted to see how friendly it is to pedestrians and how many little independent shops there are here. And we'll also be looking at the beautiful canals that run throughout this district. 4 major waterways that add to the special character of the 9 streets. It's so mellow and peaceful, the shop dog can sit in the doorway without being disturbed. Hardly any noisy cars or scooters going by. It's a place for pedestrians, bicycles, and little shops. Single is one of the main streets along the canal of the same name, and this is part of that great charm of the neighborhood. You've got waterways along with these pedestrian lanes lined with shops, with an old pissoir, part of that historic heritage of the neighborhood. Here you'll also find apartments, offices, and some hotels. It's a complete neighborhood, very attractive for both the visitors and the local residents. This is a compact zone with basically a square shape, just 400 meters from one end to the other, making it so easy to walk and see all of it in a day. The paving is great. You're welcome to walk in the street, and the terrain is flat. Heroncrock is one of the 4 parallel canals running through these 9 streets, which form a belt of canals around central Amsterdam. Streets along the banks of the canal have the same names as the canal. There are quaint and picturesque neighborhoods throughout the Netherlands and in other sections of Amsterdam. Indeed, all over Europe, there are hundreds of charming towns with wonderful places for strolling, but it's hard to find one that has all of these characteristics in one place. Sidewalk cafes, major canals, pedestrian lanes, a thick concentration of independent little shops, amid a large collection of attractive historic buildings, with a central location that's easy to get to. This is clearly someplace very special. Felix Meritus is an 18th century building housing a European Center for Art, Culture, and Science. There's an excellent website put together by the merchants of the area that describes in great detail everything that you'll find in the 9 streets, with a listing of the shops, there's photos, there's a brochure you can download, and maps. So take a look at that website. And here I'll share some of their descriptions about the shops and history. They say from the very beginning, 400 years ago, this charming neighborhood was dominated by trade and culture. And still it has a great bustling atmosphere, full of quirky little shops, designer boutiques, and hidden cafes. A must if you want to hang out where the locals do. The ideal place to get to know Amsterdam in all its variety and richness, with a great overview of the architectural style of Amsterdam heritage. They list all of the shops in their website and brochure, laid out in geographic order with contact, websites, and phone numbers, which I can summarize for you. Among those 100 stores, here's what we've got. There are 60 boutiques, 40 places for food, drink, and sleep, 5 for vintage, 12 shops for shoes and bags, 16 for accessories and jewelry, 14 for hair, health, and beauty, 18 home and lifestyle, 8 art, culture, and books, and 25 specialties. Most of the shops here are unique little boutiques. There's hardly any tourist souvenir shops, but you'll find plenty of places to buy a keepsake to bring home. In the old days, these streets served the merchant families and businesses who worked along the canals. They were milking establishments, gas and fire shops, and liqueur distilleries. In the 60s, the hippies discovered the neighborhood. They not only came to live there, but also started shops selling secondhand clothes, furniture, lamps, and curiosities, some of which can still be found today. As you've noticed, there are no shopping malls or big department stores here. It's just not that kind of place, but instead it's laced with authentic shops and picturesque scenes. There are big department stores elsewhere in Amsterdam, of course. You can find them along some of the main boulevards, but don't look for them here. Most shops are open every day from about 10 or 11 in the morning until 6 or 7 in the evening, all year round. While this neighborhood is a slice of heaven for shoppers, it's fun even if you don't intend to buy anything. Just walking around through these streets is a pure pleasure. And we have the added bonus of seeing row after row of houses along the canal. Notice each gable has a beam extending out with a hook. You'll find this all over Amsterdam. And what was it for? They attached a pulley wheel and rope to haul up heavy items and furniture to bring them in through a window, rather than trying to carry big things up inside through those narrow staircases. There are thousands of boats of all shapes and sizes here, including quite a few houseboats, some of which are available as vacation rentals. Although Amsterdam has been reducing the number of vacation rentals available to protect the housing market. There are several excellent hotels in the 9 streets that have converted rows of canal houses into deluxe accommodations, including the Pulitzer, the Dillon, the Hoxton, and the Andaz. You can get a room with a view looking out over the canal, or a quiet room at the back looking out over a garden. Another way to get around is to rent a bicycle, which makes a great way to see this neighborhood and the rest of town, one of the most bicycle-friendly cities in Europe. Amsterdam is a large city, and many of the buildings do look quite similar to each other, with no skyscrapers providing some kind of visible landmark. So you might find yourself wondering where you are. But within our 9 streets, it's quite easy to keep your orientation. If you should get a little lost, just pop into a shop and ask for directions. And yes, they all speak English. We have left the 9 streets. That completes our visit. We've spilled into the adjacent neighborhood called the Jordaan, and we'll be taking you through this part of town as well in our series on Amsterdam. The Jordaan used to have 11 canals, but during the late 19th century, half of them were filled in to make room for streets and parks, including this one. We have a couple of dozen videos about the Netherlands covering 9 of the most interesting towns in addition to Amsterdam. Be sure to look for them in our collection. We frequently upload new movies, so please subscribe to our channel and click that little alarm bell so you'll be notified. And if you enjoyed the movie, how about a thumbs up? And we always welcome comments down below. Or if you have questions about the destination, make note and we'll answer them. Thanks for watching.